Ah, crap. Did the music end already? Hello, everybody. Greetings to one and all. However, many of you are hanging out in chat today. Or, well, I suppose it's more accurate to say how many of you are lurking. However many of you are lurking. I'm a little late out of bed. I woke up to my alarm, silenced it, and then immediately afterwards fell back asleep. And the next time I opened my eyes, I grabbed my phone and it was like, oh, you have 5 minutes before you're supposed to be live. And I'm like, oh, well, guess who's going to be late today? Hello, I'm not lurking, I'm here. Hello, Sora Fowler. Sora Fowler. Greetings. I'll be lurking for a bit, but I have a class starting soon. I see how it is, AmLab. I get the whole situation. You do what you have to. Also, hello, Tev. Half asleep. Oh, look at you redeeming those squats right away. Holy freaking moly. You can just call me Sora. I know the last part is weird. Sora a Fowler. It's fine. I get it. Fowler isn't a name that I haven't run into in my life, so. You can butt me, Sora. I butt the last part is weird. Ah, Buttspot. Such a wondrous contribution. Buttspot makes such wondrous contributions to this channel, wouldn't you say? Wondrous and fun. Anyways, guys, I hope that you slept well. I got a decent amount of sleep, surprisingly, because I finished off with the stream that we were doing last night, and then I immediately shut the computer off and just kind of rolled into bed. Excuse me. So, I still have I have a quote unquote stopping time still today, but I don't have to pay super close attention to it. I have more wiggle room than normal because I don't have to go to work. I'm on vacation this week. So man oh man. So today we're in Minecraft again, and I'm specifically working on the train tunnel, the underground system for transportation around the world. So I'm just going to hopefully finish the section of the underground that I've been working on so diligently for several streams now. And hopefully we have a little bit of fun in the process, and I don't live to regret streaming or anything, because there are any number of crazy things that can happen today. I say that like I'm setting something up. I'm not. I'm just saying my streams tend to be a little bit on the wild side. But hey, that would be a late night type of thing, I think. Early morning, different story. I'm working. I'm trying to get into a concert, so my priorities are a little skewed today. Well, I mean, as long as the boss doesn't catch you doing that behind the desk, right? All right, so we've replaced all of that. Go ahead and fill these chests up. Ooh, you know what? Options, music. There we go. Turn sounds back up. I'm gonna get a playlist going on here. My boss knows. He thinks it's funny. Well, I mean, you're lucky in that regard. Not every boss is like that. My job is mostly sitting around and waiting for stuff to happen. But this isn't funny. It's my life. Oh, my word. Okay. If someone high enough, there are people around me in management that don't really pay any mind to the fact that I'm not getting a terribly large number of things done most of the day. Because most of my job is like, wait, and when something shows up, get it done fast. A lot of my job is that. And it's like, don't screw up, don't miss an I, don't forget to dot an I or cross a T, like, and whatnot. So it's like, as long as somebody high enough up the chain doesn't spot that I'm not doing anything most of the day, everything will be fine, you know? Which is, it's like as far as I'm concerned, my job pays me for my expertise and my experience at what I do, you know? For the bureaucratic stuff that's necessary. All right, what type of music do we need? So I know all too well what it's like to have basically nothing to do. Hello, Sarah. How you doing? What do you do, if you don't mind me asking? It is managing paperwork in the event that the Department of Transportation or the Federal Aviation Administration comes in and checks on us or something. I work in logistics. And my job is specifically to keep the paperwork straight for hazardous chemicals that can be shipped. Okay? So the laws surrounding hazardous chemicals, this is an incredibly topical thing given what's happening in Ohio today, or lately, or happened on the 3rd. We don't deal with chemicals of that capacity in the logistical system that operates, but basically anything that moves through it has to have paperwork, and we have to have 13 months of file history on it, both digital and physical. And it's my job to keep that stuff straight. And I'll never forget, whenever I initially got the position, like probably a decade ago now, there was it was the first time that I got a desk job where it was like, okay, sit behind this desk and you have an email address and you have all this paperwork to fill out. One of the first emails I got from the guy who, you know, he regulates like the guy responsible for the district or the area. He sent a message through about something that had been working its way down the pipeline and had finally finished going through the pipe. And he was like, okay, we're being fined for this. Don't try to understand why we're being fined for it. Just try to follow the rules. And it was a situation where it was 2 different words. The first word was abbreviated and the second word was not abbreviated. I think that's what it was. And it was a $20,000 fine from the authorities for it because somebody caught it. And it was that level of just bureaucracy, you know? And he was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. These are the variations that are acceptable. Don't try to understand why this variation is not acceptable. Just follow it. So, and in my opinion, you know, if someone wants to say, oh, you're not working hard enough, or, you know, why are you not doing anything right now? I can pull out those examples from the past where I was like, I mean, this is the level of detail I have to be paying attention to. And if you tell me to do something else and run over here and suddenly do my job here, then, well, that's telling me to switch gears. It's probably not going to work all that well. Anyways, interesting and fascinating as that may be, I'm certain that, you know, regulatory bureaucracy is just the most riveting topic ever. What type of music do you think I should play for the stream today? Should we go for Starbound again? I've been listening to a lot of Starbound music. Let's do it. Let's do Starbound music again. Hello, Doomsday Paladin. How you doing? Good morning to you. Okay, so, what's in my shoulder here? Straight up. Okay. So this is what I need. This is the stuff that I need. Let's just hop down into the tunnels now. Oh, I can't forget to grab a minecart while I'm down there. You guys let me know if my if the music gets too loud, okay? Because there's a difference between how loud something is for me and how loud something is for you guys. So, all right, let's go through the tunnel and let's see what the hell is missing. Oh, deep slate. Oh my god, okay, I just remembered at the last moment here. I need deep slate. I still have to patch up the roof. What you getting up to today? More tunnels? Yes, yes. I'm very hopeful to actually finish all the tunnels. Okay, that might actually be a little bit too powerful for me. Turn that down a slight bit. I really wish that I could select the volume bar and adjust it with my arrow keys instead of my mouse. I could be so much more precise that way. Knock it up, you know, like at 1% at a time. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This should be all that I need, really. Go ahead and... There we go. Polish that deep slate. Oh, you should have seen me the other day, chat. I was polishing. I was polishing hard and fast and going right hard at it. Diorite. I need diorite. Well, there's no diorite here. There is 0 diorite at this base. I'm going to have to leave and come back with diorite to fix it up. So I'm just inspecting the tunnel as I go. Because I'm positive that I'm missing some stuff. I'm not ready to patch up the tunnel at the ramp where it goes down yet. Freaking Enderman. So this section has to be done still, but I'm not interested in doing that at the moment. So, okay. Aha. I knew that there was a space here that I had not gotten to yet. Okay, so this is where I had to stop. Pick you up. I need a stone cutter as well. Okay, this should be enough. I think that this is enough stairs to actually get this whole job done. Hopefully, anyway. I hope that you had a good weekend, chat. You know, whether you were able to show up to my previous streams over the weekend or not. I got 2 lovely ones in this week. Whoops. I got 2 lovely streams in this weekend. It was fun. First, it was Minecraft on Saturday, and then I got some 7 days in last night. Which was nice. We finished another Blood Moon. Alright. I swear by my sweet, soft, fancy pants that I am going to finish this today. Now that I've just said that, I'm certain that I am going to utterly and completely fail at it. Still have a lot of sections left to get done, I guess. Ah, okay, here we go, here we go. This is where the deep slate stopped, so we'll go ahead and start working on this. I don't know how tall this tunnel needs to be either. Oh, this section of the tunnel isn't done either. Oh dear. Okay, okay. So we'll finish the roof over here. I'm probably farther away from done than I thought then. That's an unfortunate thing to realize about the work. I thought that I was just down to the lower section of that tunnel down there, but it looks like I'm farther away from being finished than I thought. This is probably enough to finish what I've got so far. What about you, chat? How did you how was your weekend, eh? Was it good? Did you go anywhere? Did you have any good food? Did you bathe or anything? Bathing's a good thing to do. Alright, cool. There we go. That's done for the upper tunnel. I guess what I'm going to have to do now is just continue putting in the deep slate. Been reading Master and Commander. Wait, isn't Master and Commander the book that, like, that one, whatchamacallit film with... Isn't that what the movie Master and Commander with Russell Crowe was based on? I say that as if I have any clue about what I'm talking about. I don't have any clue what I'm talking about. But it sounds similar. Yes. Oh, well. You know, I had no clue that Master and Commander was based on a book. Then again, I never saw the movie either, right? It's one of those things. I'm not a big moviegoer. There's 21 books in the series. Really? Holy moly. I hope those 21 books resulted in some author, you know, getting their good pay in. Well, I would imagine that it resulted in the good pay. You don't do 21 books in a series without there be... I wasn't even done digging down here? Holy... Well then, okay. Didn't realize that was the situation I was walking into. Alright, so... These tunnels need more work than I realized. It's a very good series and very fun. You know what this reminds me of? I finished the book that I ordered a couple of weeks back called Legends and Lattes. I finished it, like, it wasn't that long of a read. I think it took me about a week to get through. I'm not a heavy reader either, so. Death has joined the server. Well, hello, Deathmaster. How are you doing? The only fun books to read is sales books. Shaking my head. Whatever you say, Carrot. You've come for the soul? Don't worry. There's not much left here. But no, oh, come on. I just ran out. I'm so close to being at the end. Pfft, what trash. Alright, well, we still got a bunch of stairs, so let's go ahead and, If you don't want thine soul taken, then give me the souls of thine enemies. I would. The problem is that my primary enemy, I don't know that she has a soul. Like, she's a vampire. Do vampires have... I don't think that vampires have souls. That's at least what I've been led to believe by What We Do in the Shadows. There was an entire episode about how they actually had never, like, sent their souls to the beyond or something. So... You don't know. Well, now we're both in the same boat. You see, I've been dealing with this vampire for years now, and she just... You know, you try to kill her, and it doesn't work. You try to, like, exorcise her. She's not a spirit. I mean, it's a freaking challenge and a half, let me tell you. Who's the vampire? Tevla. Countess Tevla Grey. Claims that she's been stuck around my family for generations. This is the first I've ever heard of her. One thing's for certain. I keep telling her that I don't know that she's actually, like, a vampire. And I don't want to admit this to her face, but I think she might actually be one because, I keep catching her sleeping in coffins. Hello, Futon Triangle. How you doing? Pretty sure vampires don't have souls. Like, 80% sure. I would like to meet this vampire. Well, unfortunately, she's not available at the moment, and I definitely don't want to visit trouble upon myself any more than I already have to deal with it. I have no idea. I am a rigorous and unapologetic capitalist who through as yet unexplained means has become entirely unable to die. And now I'm stuck dealing with an undying vampire. And let me tell you, she has upended so many different operations of mine and like put me behind schedule on so many projects and made me lose money. I mean, I'm a capitalist. If I'm put behind schedule, if I'm not like making things happen at pennies on the dollar, then like it's not working very well for me. Alright, looks like we hit the end of the tunnel just as I was getting down to the bottom of the stairs. Jeez, I'm terrible at my block placement today. Are you in a relationship with this vampire? Depends on what you quantify as a relationship. It is a yes or no question. And yes or no questions have to have proper parameters to be defined as yes or no. That's all I'm saying. Are we sharing a bed? No. Do we speak with each other often? Yes. Which one quantifies, you know, does speaking with one another mean that it is a relationship? Technically, enemies is still a relationship. Okay, this is a good... You're making a good point. You are making a good point. Technically, enemies is still a relationship. Not the way that you may like to imagine a relationship being. I have a lot more mining here than I would prefer. Man. I thought that I thought I had already finished all of this digging. Evidently I haven't. Shame. Vampires cannot see their reflection in old mirrors because they are backed by silver, and silver reflects the soul. Yes, this is... I remember hearing this. I remember hearing this. Is this vampire a Karen? No. That's just a flat out no. Aha, I think I've gotten through the end of it. Are you in a good relationship with this vampire or a bad one? That's a hard one to put a clean point on. Here's the thing. The vampire owes me money, okay? That's the best way to put it. And you can't be utter and completely dismissive with someone that owes you money. Otherwise, like, you can't break the legs of someone who owes you money, because then they won't be able to actually make you the money back. Yeah, they do heal quickly, don't they? Okay, it looks like this is... I think I'm actually going to need all of these to be stairs. Alright. Let's run back to the other end of the tunnel, and let's return to the task that I was at. Alright. We saw how Strife got caught in a mess because of written word instead of spoken word to a Fae. Yes, yeah, that was definitely a problem. I'm a lot more careful with my words now. Speaking of Fae, I like to imagine that there's a niche but profitable market for mute hunters who specifically deal with Fae. They'd be practically immune to Fae trickery. I need more stairs than I thought. I didn't think that one side of the tunnel was still missing stairs. Man, there's more work to be done down here than I thought there was. I mean, I'll be fine. I've got all the supplies up top. It's just really annoying to have to go back and get the supplies to make it happen. Ugh. Getting sloppy over here. I'm gonna go for a while. Oh, trust me, Deathmaster, I understand. I understand how it is. You try to deal with a freaking vampire and the problems that they create, and all of a sudden you get a headache. And I mean, no, I mean, from one undying bean to another. Yeah, I get it. I totally freaking get it. It's a headache. Why can't things just be simple and direct and to the point and all that stuff? And ugh. No, just getting tired. Not enough souls. Yeah. It's kind of the same situation with me and my wallet every single time the vampire shows up. Just, you know, problems with income and profit margins not being high enough and all that stuff. I understand. I understand. You do what's good for you. Although, while it would be nice to foist the burden upon death, you know. Right, I forgot. You accidentally made yourself immortal. Yes, so... Okay. I don't think... I'm actually suspicious that I don't have enough stairs to finish this project right now. And I'm gonna have to continue digging into the walls to get the remaining stone necessary to do what I need to. Figuring this part out is going to be fun. A lot of work for a tunnel you'll be going too fast down to notice all the detail. Yes, this is true, but at the same time, I like having the fancy... Like, I like having fancy infrastructure, you know? Even if it's stuff that I'm not really going to notice all too much. I mean, this is such a long-running design of a server. Like, why not? You know. If Minecraft added actual full-size locomotives, would you think that would be neat? I mean, if they could ever figure out how to make that work. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I need 8 stacks of stairs still. So I can do that. I can do that without too much trouble. Let's come all the way back here and let's start digging the alcoves for the walls. Where actually, since I'm gonna be no, I'll dig it out and then I'll get the I'll pull the materials out of my pack to fill in the gaps. Then, until then, I'm just gonna leave it like this. So. It's like the Moon Knight meme. I know you're here, Dracula, you big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn money? Then Strife's gonna be like the other Moon Knight meme. Honestly, at this point, I don't even remember why Dracula owes me money. But a guy's gotta live by a code, you know? Okay, I think I've got enough smooth, just normal stone to get this done now. Okay, that should be enough. Let's go back and put the rest of the stairs down. I'm not blaming you for the detail, I'm just admiring the work. I adore manual labor, I could sit and watch it all day. Really? Personally, I like the manual labor is something that, you know, could go by the wayside as far as I'm concerned. I would prefer to see it in a time-lapse format. Which is the reason why you see me using time-lapses so much whenever I make videos for YouTube. Like, the replay mod has changed my freaking life in regards to content on YouTube. It's made things so much more, immediate and direct. Alright, now that I'm this far, let's start. We're gonna continue working here, and we're gonna dig out all of the alcoves. Man. You know, I'm kind of happy. Like, I put in an order for stuff on Amazon the other day, and it actually came in inside of, like, 3 or 4 days. Which is not what I'm used to anymore. You know, like, so many times I'll put in an order, and I've said it before, but I don't order, like, one little thing here and there. I tend to make orders that are, like, multiple things of value, you know? So it's like I try to make certain that like I'm spending at least $100 whenever I order from Amazon. So what I do is I tend to like I've got a list on my phone and it's like, okay, well this is something that I should probably get. So I put it on the list, and then once a month, maybe once a month, I'll put in an order to get this stuff. But of course, like I try to make certain that I can't find it at a grocery store first, or like a local shop or whatever. So I was very surprised. It was like I ordered 4 things, I think? I think it was 4 things. So, like, much to my surprise, instead of, like, sending me 4 different boxes, which is what they tend to do, they'll send me, like, all the items in separate packages for some reason whenever I put in one order. They actually sent 3 of them in one box. Strife isn't like other CEOs. He'll go outside and destroy nature for the sake of profit with his own 2 hands if needs be. This is true. This is very true. Do you get, like, an endorphin rush whenever stuff arrives in the mail? Because I certainly do. Like, there's a certain type of excitement that you get whenever something arrives in the mail that you've been waiting for. And honestly, like, the only thing better than that I've ever found is whenever I don't know what it is. You know? When I don't know what it is and it arrives, then it's really exciting. It's a little bit like having, you know, more than one Christmas Day, if you will. Loot boxes IRL. Yeah. Except, like, loot boxes are... Because they can be so randomized and they can have, like, basically junk in them, you know? Like, there was... I'll never... There was... It was so exceedingly disappointing whenever I played Overwatch, right? And I would, like, get a loot box, and I would open it, and I would just get coins because it was a repeat of something that I had already gotten. Like, that's a certain type of disappointing, you know? I mean, like, I think I've got something coming in the mail from the gift list. Exclamation gift if you're curious. Oh, that's right. I have to remove a bunch of stuff from that list after tomorrow as well. Tomorrow being Valentine's Day. But like I've got a certain level of excitement now because like something's coming from that list, you know, and it's just like oh boy, I don't know what it is, but I know that it's coming. So. Sometimes, usually it's not from Amazon. My mom, for a bit, got something called a Wee Box, which was basically locally made gifts from people in either Ireland or Scotland. Oh, cool. Imagine if Amazon had a system where you paid less for your order, but there was a possibility they actually sent you a worse value version of what you ordered, or actually just a bunch of rocks. But seriously, yeah, I understand the excitement of delivery orders coming in. Online ordering. It's like the natural evolution of, what you call it? Online ordering was like the natural evolution of, catalog shopping. Alright, alcoves all done on this. The alcoves have been dug on this side. And my inventory is starting to fill up, so let's go ahead and do this hot number. Oh, you know what? I should probably grab a crafting table here. Like, I don't have anywhere near enough mossy cobble to actually do this job, but I can certainly give it a shot. Nice music in the background. I know! Starbound has a just straight up amazing soundtrack, you know? And if I'm not mistaken, on the note of like stuff coming in, I think someone bought something off of the wish list. So don't know who it was though. Oh, man. Ow, son of a... All right. Well, there's the last of the material I have. I was watching a video about where one of the big discussions is like how people maintain their fan base when they transition from heavily edited YouTube videos to unfiltered streams. And it sort of reminded me of how kind of odd it is that your streams aren't even more populated considering your sub count on YouTube. That sub count today, at least, it is it's a hollow number. I might need to go topside and get some sleep. To be honest, I really enjoy the streams, partially because it isn't like 50 people constantly chatting. And you know, I've always looked, I've contemplated that fact. I gotta get myself some diorite before I come back down here. Hello, Toothless. How you doing? I may have mentioned this last night, but before I logged onto the stream, I was watching the latest Last of Us episode, and man, did they get the dread of facing down a bloater so well. It was so good. You know, it's been so long since I played The Last of Us, and like I only ever played the original Last of Us for the PS3. Still have it. Like I got through the whole game, and when I was done, I was just like, that was really well done, but it was also not something that I really wanted to play. Now that but I only understood that it was something that I didn't really have interest in until I finished it. And it was one of those situations where it's like, I've got this game, I've spent the $60 on it whenever it was brand new, you know? Like, I got the game, I've spent the money on it, I'm not returning it. Like, I have to make the best out of this, you know? Okay, so I don't believe... Oh my god, I have all the mossy cobblestone. Oops. And like HBO does a fair number of shows that I hear constantly are really good. Something that I still need to watch is Chernobyl. But like I have so little capacity for watching television, you know? I have so little capacity for watching television in general. And like, I don't even watch as much of the YouTube content that I enjoy, you know? Because I'm so busy and I'm constantly doing other things. Games take up so much more of my time than anything else. I'm stuck in that weird purgatory of I really want Strife to be as popular as he deserves, but also I really like being able to actually interact with both the stream and the streamer. Yeah, I understand that. And I appreciate the fact that you're capable of articulating that. Because some people, they do not articulate that fact. There are some individuals, it's happened more than once, that come into the, I am not going back down there without any more diorite. Without diorite, I do not go down into the hole. I need diorite. And if I have to leave mid-crest to get it, then that's the way it's gonna be. Anyways. There are some people who make little to no effort to articulate that fact, that it's like, I really like the fact that this is a small stream and that it's quiet enough that the individual people can be heard, you know, and it isn't a situation where there's like 10 people who do all the talking or whatever, you know. That's my only real issue with streaming platforms, but it's not something that can really be remedied. Yeah. Okay, let's go check the ranch, see if there's any type of stone there that I could make use of. Like, you can't have your Strife and eat it too. I don't know, if I bend over, you could totally eat my ass. God, face down, ass up, you know? Exactly that. I'm terrible. I shouldn't be saying these things. Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, there's not that many shows that hold my interest nowadays, but I had to watch The Last of Us since I enjoyed the story of the first game so much, and that I managed to get my mom interested in the story as well. I mean, Naughty Dog is good at the writing that they do. At least the staff that they had around for Uncharted, I want to say 2 through 4. Uncharted 2 through 4, and is right. The Last of Us was right smack dab in the middle of that. So, like, not necessarily all of the writing is something that I'm interested in. That being said, you know, I can acknowledge when the writing is really, really well done. And that was definitely the case with The Last of Us. And that was what gave me such incredibly conflicted feelings about the story and the way that it played out and everything. Because I'm not going to tell anybody the way that the story ended. But, like, fundamentally, The Last of Us is, I mean, the energy in the show and the game is right there in the title. It's like, during the apocalypse, the people who are going to survive are not good people, you know? And they're going to be doing horrible things. And you can root for someone who is doing horrible things. But, you know, when I finally got to the conclusion of the story, and I was like, oh my god, just like, I was expecting there to be some, you know, like, championing moral lesson or something to be there, and then there wasn't one, which shouldn't have been surprising, but it gave me such conflicting feelings, you know? And the violence was fucking real in that game. Holy shit, was the violence real in that game. So I think that all of it came together perfectly to be exactly what it was intended to be, and I didn't realize exactly what it was intended to be, or I was denying it whenever I was watching the promo material all the years ago before its release. So yeah, like that was the situation. So whenever they were like, okay, we're Last of Us 2, and I was like, okay, I learned my lesson with the first game. This is not for me. Very much agree. That was how well, with how well you put it. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, you enjoy the media you enjoy, and you don't enjoy the media you don't enjoy, and you need to keep that in mind so that you don't go out and, like, watch something just because it's the new amazing thing. That being said, it's really hard to make me budge for media. In fact, like, I've already made up my mind that I am going into a movie theater for the first time in over a decade, specifically to watch the Mario movie when it comes out in, what is it, April, I think it is. So, hi Will, how was your weekend? It was naked, it was slippery, and it was broadcast. No, that last part is a lie. Actually, the rest of it is a lie too. Like, it wasn't naked and slippery either. I couldn't help myself. But no, I had a good weekend. I hope you did too. Oh man, I forgot how soon that movie was coming out. Yeah, it is like right around the corner. Oh, we have some dye right here. What do you know? Okay. Let's... I'll just leave 4 blocks here. It's not quite swimming season, is it? No naked slipping. Ugh. Which movie? The Super Mario Brothers movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie. I think Charlie Day Luigi is an immaculate casting decision. I mean, all the good and all the bad. I'm not gonna lob out an opinion until I've actually seen the movie. Now, I'll admit the preview material makes it seem to me like Nintendo has exercised an extreme amount of control over making absolutely certain that the movie is something that they approve of, which makes a really big difference. Nintendo tightly controls their intellectual property for a very good reason, especially after what happened with the 90s Mario movie. So, you telling me that there's 0 fucking diorite in here? Give me a break. What the hell is over on this side? Yeah, I am seeing 0 veins of the various stones here. So, you know what? I don't have a choice. I have to go out to an old retired mine, not that far from just before Side Shale. Then again, Nintendo did the same thing for Bowser in Wreckly Ralph. Fuck you, Strife, aka my way of saying hello to you. Hello, music. Hello, music. How you doing? Well, it would appear. In the most endearing way possible. Fuck you too. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll take a nap here. Oh my god, this is where I've been stashing vines here the whole time. They micromanaged how Bowser holds a cup in Wreck-It Ralph. You know, I would say that that's going overboard, but I don't know. I fully trust Nintendo to be very particular about that type of thing in a good way. A fun thing about Japan, they don't really have fair use as far as I understood. I don't actually know. I have no clue about how their copyright laws and fair use are written out. Okay, well. Capcom tried to do the same kind of thing with the Monster Hunter movie. Wait, there's a Monster Hunter movie? This kind of sounds familiar. Why is it out already? Oi, Willie gotta explore an abandoned mineshaft? Will there be ghosts and ghouls and the like? Nah, no ghosts and ghouls. They got the director's ass. They got on the director's ass about how Diablos is a herbivore and wouldn't walk like the way it was being portrayed. Oh wow! I remember a YouTuber I follow that lives in Japan explained that one time a random logo appeared in a clip and they had to go and contact the company and do a bunch of paperwork for it. Wow, jeez. Came out like 2 to 3 years ago. This is proof of how little I watch, like, media. How little media I actually get to watch. Most of everything that I do involves looking at and paying attention to video games. Damn, I left my horse out at Red Rock, so I have to run myself out to this mine. I think the director for Monster Hunter movies still basically ignored Capcom's demands. I think that Capcom has experience doing this stuff, and they're always contracting out, and other people are making things with their IP, and it's with Capcom's blessing that it's happening. The thing is, I think that Nintendo is probably the type of company that has something clearly written into the contract saying, if we say you do something and you don't do it, we pull it, and you have to pay us for not following the rules. Like, I get the feeling that that's the type of contract work that Nintendo probably writes out. That's the level of control that they expect from the outset. And while that could seem kind of draconian, I also feel like Nintendo's the type of company that tells you up front that that's the only way they're doing this, you know? Also, I don't know if Nintendo came up with the idea of doing the Mario movie, or if it was Element Animation that approached them about it. I mean, if you want to micromanage your IP, okay, fine. Like, it's your intellectual property. You get to do whatever the hell you want with it, you know? But be upfront about how strict you're going to be with it, you know? All right, there's a whole bunch of diorite in this cave here, so... Oh my. Freaking rat. Japan seems new and fancy, but my guy there has to send so many faxes all the time for paperwork. Many companies still use them for more than emails. Man, what was the line that I heard not too long ago? Japan has been in the year 2000 since the 80s. So it's like they were so incredibly advanced and futuristic once upon a time, but they had, like, all of the technology that they're using now is just so ancient because it was like, you know, it was like, yeah, being in the year 2000 back in the 1980s, yeah, that's incredible. But now it's like 20 years out of date, and that's just what they have, and that's what they use, and what they're stuck on, you know? So faxes were not very 2000 anyway, but... And this is a story that I see frequently, just like so many, like, I hear this story so often where people are like, yeah, you know, like all these old codgers, you know, that work on that work at the company that I'm at, you know, they don't know how to save a PDF. So what they'll do is they'll literally print the PDF out and then fax it. Because like that's all they know how to do, and they cannot figure out how to use this save button for the life of them. There's no getting them to change. Like, I've heard that story so many times whenever I run around and like read things on Reddit and whatnot. My. Filled up my inventory already. The director, that director is notorious for making movies almost entirely just to make his wife look good in the movie. Yeah, I can actually respect Nintendo for that. Like, when you adapt Nintendo stuff that way, you are 99% doing it because of how popular and big Nintendo is. So, of course, Nintendo demands that level of authority. I'd be the same way if I was being asked if someone could essentially borrow my IP for a bit. I came by to say hello, and now I'm back to work. Hey, you have a good day, Musically. You do your work. If I'm in a character, I typically have an idea of how that person acts. Japan, if it ain't broke, don't upgrade it. To be frank, to be fair, faxes do provide a paper trail if that can be followed if there's a problem. I mean, you can't argue with that statement because it is factually true. Doesn't do anything for the inconvenience of it, but it is factually fact. All right, cool. Oop. Okay. Looking good here. Factually? Oh my god. That took me a second, not gonna lie. I feel the same way about Nintendo's control over their IPs as I do about Skyrim. I see no problem with it being constantly released on more and more platforms and having stuff added to it if people are gonna buy it and no one is being unfairly exploited. True. Did you get tea or coffee today? I got coffee today. The tea thing was just a Saturday thing because I had completely... Was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. It was just a Saturday thing. Like, after I finished streaming, I went out and I did all of my chores ran my errands, and when I got home, I was like, all right, time to roast. So I roasted. And then because I'm on vacation this week, I was like, all right, fucking everything that I would normally have to get done on Sunday. Because, like, do you guys want a little bit of a secret? You want to hear a little bit of a something about the way that I handle myself on Sundays? You had tea? Why? Well, I used up the last of my coffee on Friday morning, and I was supposed to roast Friday night after I came home from work, but I completely forgot about it. So I woke up Saturday and was like, oh shit, I don't have any coffee anymore, and I don't have time to roast it. So I was forced to just sit down, and what I did was I used the coffee pot to make hot water, essentially. I just ran it without anything in the basket, no grounds or anything. And then so yeah, I used the coffee pot to make hot water, and then I just used it to steep tea, black tea. So of course we want to hear about how you handle yourself. Well, the first thing you need to know is that it only needs 2 fingers. So that's the first thing you need to know about how I handle myself. Oh man. So like whenever as I was saying though, I should make coffee, but I'm lazy. My only issue with the Creation Club was that the mod authors who made the content were only paid a one-time commission and never got a cut of the Creation Club sales. I was told this, not 100% sure if it's true. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, that it works. Could have made it a roasting stream. Tev has to hold the camera to do something like that. I did a roasting stream back in December at some point, and like very few people watched it. I think coffee roasting is one of those things where watching someone do it isn't interesting unless it's done like a cooking show where you basically skip all of the boring stuff, because there's a lot of waiting in a cooking show. So there's a lot of waiting involved whenever you do cooking. Anyways. I think that'd be a conversation for a different platform. No, it can be a conversation here. It's just I can't have visual aids here. All right. So, let's start putting the diorite frame in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so it takes 19 blocks. So it basically takes one stack of diorite is essentially going to go for 3 rings, and then it's done. Strife requires a delicate start of 2 fingers and an explosive ending requiring 7 jackhammers, and bribing of city officials to assure the committed OSHA violations were never punished. God. Criminy. So like on as I was saying, on Sundays, I tend to like hang out in. I like doing nothing on Sundays. Like I stay in, and I don't have to do a single freaking thing. But very frequently, that's not an option for me on Sundays. Like, I'm stuck doing things on Sundays that I would prefer to not do. Because there are just so many errands to run. There's so many things to get done. But this last Sunday, yesterday, I did actually stay in completely all day long. and it was, oh god, it was so nice. But part of the whole thing where like I get to stay in is the fact that there are presentable ways to dress whenever you're leaving the house and whatnot, and whenever I don't leave, whenever I have no plans for leaving the house on a Sunday, I get to wear all sorts of things that I would normally not want to bother with, because it's like, ugh, that's a pain to like put on, and then like I can't really wear it whenever, and I have to take it off. And Valentine's Day with Strife has its own From Soft level OST boss music. God. I mean, like the stuff that I'm wearing on my underlayer right now isn't too different from what I would wear on a Sunday and just kind of sit around in it, you know? So you have been invaded by Mad Phantom, Strife Stingus. God. Okay, I'll stop. Criminy. Oh man. So, you know, I've got a question for you, chat. What the filthy things that happen on this stream? Like, okay, let me put it this way. You all know what happens whenever a hundo donation happens, right? So, I guess my question for you is like, what do you think of that? Because I do that, you know, for equal parts because, you know, like, ooh, it's money for me. But I also do it for equal parts because, like, it's a thirsty thing, you know? And I feel like there's reasonably good reaction to it, but I've never actually asked outright. Or if I have, I don't remember. I think it's creative and funny. I think it's funny. I forget, what does the hundo donation... I forget what the hundo was. Strife, you know full well what I think. Yes! Yes, I do, Ace. I do. Oh my god, we've got two different people here who don't know what a hundo does. Okay, so the agreement here... You know what? I'll give the setup for you. So, there is a channel point redemption that I think is like 10,000 points. I forget how many points it is. But there's a channel redemption to get me to swap the underpants on the wall from a selection of underwear that has been purchased by viewers over time. Okay? So, I gave a small enhancement to that whole thing, where it's like, okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you donate a hundo from one single person all at once, and it specifically has to be a hundo in donation form, not like bits or subs or something like that, I will strip off what I have and hang it up on the wall. And that's been a thing that I've done for, I don't know, more than a year now? Has it been more than a year? I can't remember. But, I thought it was kind of quiet. The wall panty swap is 10,000 points. Yes, okay, so... But yeah, like, you know, there's like a selection for the point for using points, and then if you go and use you know, money through PayPal, I believe it is, you know, it's like, okay, this is the reward if you do it through, you know, money and PayPal. So the last time that happened was for charity. So there are actually 2 outstanding tokens in the channel. There are 2 users who have sizable enough donations that happened in the past to justify me being like, okay, congratulations, you totally did something that I didn't expect you to do, and you did it all inside of one stream. So I have to, like, you get a token, you get to redeem that token whenever you want, and those tokens are still outstanding. So in general, I think the lewd or crude humor is perfectly on brand as long as it never goes into too much detail or gets too vulgar. Oh god, I need to sell some of my Pokemon cards now. Well, hot damn. Really pulling out all the stops to make it happen now. We're gonna dig the alcoves on this side. I still need additional deep slate to finish this thing up. Strife panties, here I come. Ooh woo. My god. It's an incredible balance to try and strike in regards to like how much lewd to have and like where to stop for it. Because like some viewers, they really do eat it up. I know that there are probably a few of you who would be entirely down if I like, you know, started publishing dirty pictures on a regular basis, but you know, I also know that that's not for everybody. If Strife Solutions had a sexy summer calendar, what month would CEO Strife be on it? I would say like June or July. And have you ever seen like that iconic art of a girl at the beach and a dog has grabbed the back of her like bikini bottom and has pulled it down and you can just see her bare ass? That would be the shot for Strife CEO. It would just be that. That's what it would be. Ooh, hey, I love this song. I think I scared Strife last night because I paused with my message making him think I was gonna swap the wall pants during the blood moon. Yes, I did. Coppertone CEO. Don't mind me, just opening up Clip Studio. Tev gets caught secretly trying to buy a copy. God. It's for research purposes. Quick, somebody use an AI to have Strife narrate the milk fic. Oh, God. Could probably just pay him. If I donated $100, I'd ask for a live reading of My Immortal, to be honest. My Immortal. My Immortal. That sounds so freaking familiar. Oh my God, I'm so close to finished here. Okay. Okay. My Immortal is a badly written Harry Potter fic. I feel like I know that it feels like I know more about this than I'm actually aware. And wasn't it turned into like a series of videos at some point by somebody as well? How goes the Minecrafting? It goes well. It goes well. All right, here we go. This is the last section that I need to fill. Then I can get on to doing the other side of the wall. Oops. Get this coal out first, though. Oh, excuse me. Alright, here we go. This is what I had left to dig out. Alright, chat, listen. I need to get a refill on my coffee, so don't go anywhere on me. I will be right back. Oh man, this is a great song. This is a great song right here. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm back. I have a fresh cup of coffee. Strife, have you ever heard of Hildegard von Bleigen? They're a musician who does barcode remixes of classic songs like the Change the Worlds. Like they change the words and instrumental of a song like I Need a Hero, or to where it sounds like a bard ballad of an RPG or a Game of Thrones episode. The barcode music sounds really familiar. And that sounds that's way too unique for it not to be like the same person, probably. I've probably seen it. Strife, I can't draw this thing with a straight face. You're not using the special pictures and just editing those? Oh god. Bardcore, like hardcore. Oh, bardcore. Bardcore. Oh, no. Then in that case, no. I do not know. I do remember seeing an artist who used a barcode scanner with a bunch of barcodes to specifically make the music. Also, Sarah, there's nothing wrong with not being able to keep a straight face while making it. Actually, this is interesting. I actually like there has been lewd fan art of my avatar made in the past. There was actually a pretty decent quantity of this stuff back whenever I was part of the Yogs, and they were at the peak of their popularity and everything. And I knew that stuff probably wouldn't stick around for a long time. So what I did was I specifically saved a bunch of the lewd art as and put it in a particular directory underneath the existing fan art that I was saving. Because like I'm really, really honored that people think that anything that I've done is worth making art of, you know? And, you know, you kind of know it whenever the art goes past normal art and then it goes into lewd art. Because that's when you know that people are really, really connecting with it. Me being a male, I wouldn't be able to keep a straight anything seeing lewd Strife. God. Has Tev seen lewd fan art of you? That's a good question. I don't know. Like, it's been a while. Like, I know exactly where the fan art folder is. I haven't opened it in a long time. But, actually, I think the last time that I opened the fan art folder was sometime around CBH when that stuff was going up, because I think that's the last time that any type of fan art was done. But it's been, God, it's been like decades. It's been like 8 some odd years now, probably, since I've 5 to 8 years since I think anything lewd was ever done. So, like, people were really latching on to the idea that what is it, the Lumion headcanon. There were a lot of people who were latching onto the Lumion headcanon stuff, and they were specifically drawing all of the lewd stuff specifically in that vein, where it's like, yes, we shall draw all of the lewd material as if you are an alien with all of this green on you. Which is like, okay, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But that's what I remember the most. Have you ever seen gender bent Strife? I think there was some art that I mistook as gender bent Strife, but it was just other people's characters dressed in a quote unquote Strife solution uniform. Like if you were wearing basically any variation of a suit. I think it was specifically someone who their avatar was drawn as if they were like being a secretary and she was wearing a pencil skirt or something. But I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, but it had the green eyes and the blonde hair. So I was like, okay, well, this is obviously like, you know, a gender bend, but no, it was not. What's the rule for gender bending, or like a gender swap or something like that? What's the difference between a bend versus a swap? If it's bent, does it mean that the penis is at a 90-degree angle? Rule 63. There we go. Rule 63. I never remember that one. The only one I ever remember is Rule 34. You know, if whatever, like, it doesn't matter what it is, but there is porn of it on the internet. That's one of the rules of the internet. All right. I don't think I've drawn anything lewd with your character except this piece of ass right now, though. Though I wouldn't call it too lewd. It's more cheeky than anything. Oh, man. Da pun. It's always interesting seeing new Pokemon stuff get announced, and then less than an hour later seeing lewd fan art of it. God, yeah, you're right. There's definitely a lot of that. Like, what was it? I think that there was a Pokemon that I became aware of named, like, Cloud Dove or something like that. It's, like, green and white with, like, some sort of a reddish-pink thing in the middle of its chest, and it's like, yes, we are going to draw this as seducing the trainer all the time, or something like that. Gardevoir? Okay. I think I'm saying that right. Gardevoir? Rule 34, the porn rule. Yes. Strife is a little green man? No. Strife has a little green man. Game Freak designing new female NPCs knowing full well what's going to happen 20 seconds after they reveal them to the world. I could draw gender-bent Strife, but it would be followed by Tevola. I mean, hey, whatever you want to do, go for it. I always want to encourage viewers and just fans of my work to engage and indulge. Okay? Now, obviously, that means, like, not shoving it right up in front of the eyes of people who are subject to it, because that's a little bit rude. In my case, I'm like, nah, whatever it is. I've seen some pretty crazy things on the internet. I'm pretty well, quote-unquote, desensitized. I'm entertained by this stuff, You can go pretty far flung, and I'll still be like, oh, cool. There are very few things where I'm like, ew, oh god, what have I just seen? Like there's stuff on the internet that I need eye bleach for still, but that bar goes pretty far up. So, hilariously enough, Gardevoir was initially designed to be masculine. Its Japanese name is Sir Knight, I think. Huh. If your little man is green, you should get that checked. What Strife gets up to with Gardevoir is his business. God. Alright, we're basically finished with the tunnel. Now I have to make a decision about whether or not to work on these bends that go up and down, or to work on connecting it into the station. So... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to work on getting the train line into the station. There's a new character. There's a character in a new game named Grusha. He's a guy, but he has a feminine appearance. And when he was first revealed, they didn't bring up his gender, so people actually drew him with the fattest tits. God. The fanbase are the ones who pushed a feminine persona onto Gardevoir, and Game Freak adopted it afterwards with Gallade, the masculine version, and the Mega Evolution for Gardevoir introduced after the fully embraced the adopted femininity of it. That one has a lot of typos. Oh dear. Okay, so... it's going to be a long time until this train tunnel is entirely complete, though, because I have to collect up a sufficient amount of, whatchamacallit. I've got a word for it, I swear I do. I have to collect up enough stuff? Shit. Okay, you know what? I need to be down on the proper level to get this correct. Okay, so this I have to be at a height of 61. I've got to re-engineer this whole thing. Where do I even drop this drawing, Strife? Good question. I don't know. You could always, like, wherever you upload it, wherever it is, you could always just DM me here on Twitch. Share it with me that way. As controversial as Pokemon is nowadays with its content quality, I'm still a massive fanboy of its character and creation design as well as the lore they introduce. Really? Okay, so in order for this to work... Okay. Oops. Resource packs. Open the folder. Let's go up a level and find my screenshots. And take a look at my train station design. I don't think my followers would vibe with that drawing, so I'd probably put it in CBH. You might, like, if there's an NSFW thing, I mean, as long as you're not actually showing off proper genitalia, I don't think there's anything wrong with putting it in an NSFW channel. I think. I wouldn't be... I can't know without seeing it, you know? Or maybe we'll just go the Tumblr route, you know? No female presenting nipple, but all of the penis you want. I know I've got it somewhere here. There we go. Got it. This is the picture I was looking for. All right. Loath as I am to deconstruct this old piece of equipment, this old design, what must be done must be done. Whoopsie. Ooh la la. Hey, thank you so much for the subscription there, Canopy and Catgirl. 19 months. Thank you so much. It's good to know that I'm worth both your time and your money. Great to have you along for the ride. Welcome to the stream and enjoy yourself while you are here. Okay, so I gotta come up with a way for this to all work. We will widen these spaces by to be 3 wide. Shivers and Vaporeon copy pasta? What on earth? Kieran NSFW, is that how it's called? Yes, I believe that's what it was called. Okay, so, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's, if the line is right here, 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It puts it smack in the middle. I think I could get away with only this, though. Okay, so I think that it will work this way. If I put the cactus there and then I put the exiting line right here. So we'll plunk that down right there. Get a chiseled stone brick. Put it down right there. Slap a button on top of it. And I'm lacking all of the necessary rails that I would run for this, but Hello, Charlie. Welcome. Greetings to you. Okay, so I'm lacking enough rail to actually do this entirely, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, like, none of this here is getting used at the moment, so it'll just come right out. Okay, so it has to be the other way. It has to be the other way around. Goes there. It's a little bit awkward, but actually with this design I could probably get away with doing it this way. I can probably get away with doing it this way. And then, yeah, so whenever you're on the receiving line, you come in here and it'll break the minecart. And then when you're on the leaving line, it'll come in here and it'll just shoot you across this. Yeah, okay, that works. Now I'm missing like the activator rail and all that stuff to make this happen, but I think what I have here is of a good design. I think this is a good design that I have here. So in Pokemon, did you know that canonically speaking, the remake games exist in an alternate reality to the original games? That would make sense. And one of the Gen 7 games actually has a post-game story where you fight against alternative timeline version of the evil team leaders that come from timelines where they actually won. And in that story, a dude sends a guy back in his old, back to his old dimension by pressing a few buttons on his watch, after calling him a dork. Wasn't that an Ultra Sun and Moon? Yeah. Did I ever tell you the evil plan I thought of once I heard that the Super Bowl trophy was in the my store the other day? No. What was the story? Oh, did you share the picture, Sarah? Oh God, I see what you're talking about. He said it, that's why it's his fault. Pfft, okay, if you say so. Okay, so my inventory is chock-a-block full. Let's stash some materials here. I don't need a bunch of this now. You decided on the pinup reference, Mr. CEO. Oh, I know. I know. But I know how it is, Sarah. You can't deny it. You enjoy drawing this stuff, and you're having fun. Wrong shovel again. God damn it. Okay, so this was the orientation for the tunnel. All right, for good reason, I'm gonna move this back a step. Go. And honestly, it's the less spicy thing I drew today since the boyfriend asked for Valentine's drawings. Well, you can't lead me on with that type of a statement. What on earth else did you draw that was more spicy, Sarah? Come on. Give up the goods. Penis. You really do have to like respect people who have decided to like dedicate all of their artistic talent to drawing the human form straight down to the most extreme detail and fold of skin. Sarah drew Strife X Creeper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so. Rouge the Bat, as tall as she is wide. I drew some cute NSFW stuff. Wow. Wow, like really not giving any details. Wait, I got that backward. Strife and Creeper star in An Explosive Climax, Butthole Bombers 3. Christ almighty. The details are between me and the boy. Well. No fun. Okay, what was the height that I was aiming for here? 38. Okay, I'm aiming to get down to 38. Well, Chad, I'd love to be your Valentine, but you haven't paid me for it yet. Think my services are free? Okay, so we're going to be digging downward for a bit here. All right, you know what? Since we're here at the church, I'm going to go ahead and, like, just deposit materials and whatnot. There we go. Gravel drop. Oh my god, I maxed out the gravel stash here. Is there a... Yeah, there's a wood chest. Freaking zombies. I can tell you about other NSFW stuff I had to draw for work. Those are some fun ones. Wait a minute, you have to draw NSFW stuff for work? What do you do for a living? Once I had to draw NSFW of Pirates of the Caribbean animatronic. Oh my. It's not work. It's time commission. It's time to time commissions. Oh! That's fun. That's great. All right, you know what I need to do? I need to double check my coordinates here because they got to be like my coordinates need to be properly lined up. Okay, so down at level 38, but it's got to be at like 60. The Z coordinate needs to be at about 60. Okay, so we're going to be going for a little bit longer then. Mostly spanking stuff. Well, I mean, if people are into it, I can understand. I've seen a lot of that stuff. My Valentine's Day gift was becoming single. Aw, geez, I'm sorry, Professor. That sucks. That really sucks. Did I really just do that? Oop, looks like I hit the other tunnel. This is helpful. Okay, so we can go down one more here. All right, cool. Looking good. Gonna have to make a whole lot more of these rails, though. Okay, gotta be off. Adulthood requires. Ah, oh, that's a shame, Ace. You go be an adult, and you miss all the fun parts where I just dance around in my underpants. As always, you're never here for the best part. Is that connecting bridge made of cobblestone? I believe it is. I mean, this is the old infrastructure that I've got right here, so yes. almost like you do this to tease me. Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit like it's a little bit like some of the pornographic material where someone goes and pulls down the bikini just far enough for you to be like, almost, 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 and then it cuts away. Or they specifically raise the bikini right back up and like wag the finger. Okay. You know, you can build spaces that only spawn certain mobs. Would it be possible to mix that with a railroad so a bunch of mobs spawn, drop into minecarts, and get dumped into a lava pool? It would be possible, I suppose. Your problem with that is if you dump the mobs into a lava pool, whatever experience and items would just burn in the lava. So, have you ever seen animator versus animation? I think I've seen that before. I think like I've seen animator versus animation more than once, like the concept, but there's one specific one from long ago that I remember, and it was stick figures in the Flash animation authoring interface. Okay, so you know what? I got a stone cutter here. Got some stone. Let's work on these stairs, shall we? You know what? Screw that. That's not the way to do this. All right, cool. I just like imagining looking out at a constant stream of skeletons being thrown into lava by derailed minecarts. Dude makes stick figures in Photoshop and they rebel against him and he uses the cursor to fight them. Yeah. That's basically what author versus animator was in Flash years and years ago. After a few years, he gets a new PC and it happens again, but this time he makes peace with the stick figures and it helps him animate stuff. I've been really into James Lee lately. He did a video about him abandoning Adobe software, but it was scripted as him finally breaking off a toxic relationship. Oh, yes, I know. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. He's is he the one who does like those particularly stylized Adobe? He does like super stylized videos where like the teeth are extremely bright and he's got glasses and the lenses are very prominent. Meanwhile, the rest of the body is basically almost a silhouette. He was responsible for an old animation called Tarboy, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm thinking of the same person. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I need 11. He did Tarboy. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. There's something bizarrely unsettling about his art style. It is bizarrely unsettling, yet compelling. Like, the guy's got my respect for what he does, you know? Okay, so I did this incorrectly. First things first. That goes down like that, and then the rest of it needs to be cobblestone. So I'm gonna have to raise this up, but I wanted the platform right here to be a proper 3x3. The dude who made it has done a series called Animator versus Minecraft. It's pretty clever. I haven't seen a lot of Animator versus animation for a while. Gooseworks is also an amazing animator. Man, what I want is to have a whole bunch of I would love to have animations here on the stream for everything that I'm doing. Like special animations every single time I got a tip or something like that. And I would love for them to be extremely funny, you know, but also like full screen animations that don't that trigger through a special system. But I don't really have the money to commission someone to do that. Like, if I was going to commission like the size and the style of animation that I want, I wouldn't be okay with having that done without really shelling out for it, you know? So why not commission Tev? Because Tev is not a proper animator. I don't know if she even has the... I don't know if she can animate. only one way to really find out. That is true. I suppose that is true. Oh, hey, chat. Should we make, I feel a little bit guilty. I tease Ace every single time they leave, the stream about how, like, we're doing, you know, fun and naughty things that they always miss. Should I actually follow through on that at some point? I don't have any ideas what would be appropriately naughty, though. And you know how it is. It's like, you can't actually do anything true, proper naughty. You have to do something like, sort of, but not really naughty. How naughty. If you followed through with it, how would Ace even know? Ah, shit, you're right. Damn it. That's the crux of the situation. Right there, isn't it? God, there's stuff happening on the other screen in the CBH Discord. Less work to just continue the running gag. Twitch is oppressing me for my typos. Yeah, you seem to be on Twitch's bad side today. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then it goes down one more block for 5. Whew. How precarious. dokie. So. There we are. The bridge sections were always going to be a bit of precarious and, like, awkward to get done because I don't really know how the bridge sections are supposed to be done. So, like, I gotta figure out as they go. They are absolutely a case-by-case basis. Oh no, Futon has big fingies. We better silence his input. Spin-off series where Tev tricks Strife into drinking a potion that forces him to accept doing favors for people without expecting or accepting payment. This sounds exceedingly evil. And highly immoral. In other words, it sounds like exactly something that Tev would probably do. I'm trying to draw a gender-bent Strife and Tev, and I swear Tev looks like a lawyer. This is what happens whenever you start trying to be super business. Needs to be scripted like that Jim Carrey movie where he was a lawyer that couldn't lie. Oh god, liar, liar. I haven't seen or thought of that in a long time. Man, I don't want to go to work today. I don't blame you. Going to work sucks. Alright, well, this section of the tunnel is basically finished. Well, actually, I need 2 stacks of stairs to finish it. This cobblestone is going to have to come out sooner or later. There's that. How precarious. Cap it off there. Jeez. You know what is honestly amazing? All of the artists that have shown up to my streams on more than one occasion. Like, I really do like what artists do and whatnot. It's like, everybody's got a skill set and they put it somewhere, and I really wish that I could draw as well as some artists do. And I know that a lot of it comes down to perseverance. It comes down to practice, you know? But that's also not where I've decided to, quote-unquote, distribute my skill points, if you will. My skill points are distributed elsewhere. Mostly in, you know, something called small penis management. No, like, most of my skills are, you know, dedicated towards video, it's dedicated towards editing, it's dedicated towards motion graphics, etc. So it's one of those things where, man, I really like seeing what, like, a still image artist, I guess is the best way for me to put it, makes stuff. Because it's so interesting and so fascinating, you know? Where Strife discovers how to extort payments via loophole, implication, manipulation, and technicality. It'd be an inverse of the face situation Strife had to deal with. At least it isn't a 10-hour shift like Saturday was. That was too long. I can only freaking imagine. I feel sorry for some of the people that I at the checkout whenever I go to excuse me. Whenever I go to the grocery store, because, like, there was a woman at the checkout when I went to the grocery store this weekend who was like, I haven't even checked this, like, she's talking with one of her coworkers, and she's like, I haven't even checked the schedule. I work, like, for 7 days straight with no time off whatsoever. I don't, like, so I'm not even bothering to look. And I just heard that and I was like, oh god, I feel so bad for you. Get the fuck out of my freaking bunkhouse, you prick! This doesn't seem right. I mean, it's probably because they're wearing too much clothing, Sarah. That doesn't seem right. He was trying to pay you rent. Yeah, well, you can't pay rent with a freaking grass block, so joke's on him. Okay, if there's any type of rails left here, they're probably stuck in, they're probably inside of the church. Okay, so we've got normal rails. I don't think that we have any gold rails, though. Check the other chests first. Nope, no gold rails. Okay, that being the case, are there sticks in any of these boxes? Not really. Okay. Actually, I should have enough to make all the rails that I can. 33 powered rails. That should be more than enough for what I need to get done. Okay, I didn't need to come in here. There we go. Anyways, the sketch is done. Tev looks like a lawyer, and Strife looks like he's about to ask if she can speak to the manager. Where did you post it? I'm very curious to see it. Uh-oh, that's my stopping alarm. It's time for me to stop and just walk around the house in nothing but my unmentionables. Which is funny because I mention my unmentionables all the time. Gonna clean it up a bit. Well, you do that. Well, first things first, I can definitely get... Alright, there's the line. The line is almost entirely done. The only reason that it won't be finished right now is because of the fact that I need more deep slate to get in the rest of the tracks. And on that note, what I should probably do is start taking this stone out. Let's see if there's any deep slate here. There might be some further, like, I've got a little bit of storage in a mine in this area. Let's see if there's any deep slate there. Oh, futon. Going for the squats there, I see. Nothing? Okay, well, I guess I'll just grab like a stack of it or something. Alright, gonna head out for work. See you later. Hey, it was nice to have you along for the ride, Cortex. Enjoy the rest of your day as best as you can anyway. And, you know, just take care of yourself. I did want to say I appreciate both the content and your company, Strife. I've been quite depressed lately, and I can more easily ignore it when I have this stream to interact with. Well, you know, I understand what it's like to be in a low point. I understand what it's like to be in a low point in your life and be really struggling with it. So I am happy to be part of your life in a manner that helps you to manage, you know? Emotions are a strange and difficult thing, but managing them is a really, really big and important thing to do. I'll never forget whenever I first learned... I had to learn how to basically stop what I was doing and start just, like, having an inner dialogue about, like, how am I doing, you know? Am I okay? And, you know, it's like, you're not answering out to anybody but yourself, so it's not like, you know, you're going to be held responsible or something like that, you know? Here we go. All right, let's get an entire stack of polished deep slate here. Hopefully that's all that I'm gonna need, but we'll see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And that's 26. How awkward. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll see whether or not I can successfully make this work here. I might be able to power this whole thing with one single torch, but I doubt that that's going to be the case. No, that is absolutely not the case. I have not powered it with one torch. All right, cool. That being the case, we will have to come back here. Oh God, there's another freaking Enderman getting in my way. I've always sucked at putting my feelings into words, even internally. Oh, man. It's a special skill. It is absolutely a special skill, you know? Okay, so we will just put down an extra torch here. I'm gonna have to go and make more of them, so... I'm gonna need at least 3 additional... No, probably just 2. Probably just 2 additional torches. Torch-powered rails? Yeah, why not? I mean, it works pretty well. The way that redstone torches work is that they will put power into whatever the they will put power into any block they are adjacent to, as long as they are not attached to that block. So if I put the torch like that, it is powering every space immediately adjacent to it that's not diagonal. So it'll put power into the block above it, to the left, to the right, to the north, to the south. But it will not put power into the bottom block. You can also put power into this bottom block by placing that right there. This block right here is now getting a charge, okay? So, it might actually work this way. No, it doesn't work that way, because tracks are not redstone dust. But this block is now getting a charge. But the block that it is placed on, the one on the wall, is now not getting a charge, because it's attached to it. There we go. Cool. all powered up. This game keeps surprising me. There's all sorts of ways to do it. Like, in these spaces right here, I'll just go ahead and show this off. Like, the redstone lamps are either supposed to be right there, where I just pulled a block out, or just hanging down from it. But to give you an example of how things are going to work here, I don't have any more redstone torches, but I'm going to put a torch in like that, and then I'm going to come back and hang the lamp down like that, possibly, or just, like, embed it into the ceiling along with the strip. I'm not entirely certain how I'm going to go about doing it, but that's the way that the torches are going to go in. That's the way that the redstone lamps are going to go into this place. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this puts me in a position where the rail line is almost complete. Like, you can get end to end, but the unboarding station is not finished, and the line still needs some work done on it. I'm the kind of guy that will ramble about a current fixation for an hour straight and then immediately feel guilty for doing so after I realize what I have done. You saw that earlier with the Pokemon Lorb Dump. Man. We all have our idiosyncrasies, you know? They exist for all of us, and there's no getting around that truth. What do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, I need 6. Part of the way that we live our lives is just being okay with being who we are. And if you don't like who you are, you have to be like the only way that you're gonna get live your life happily is if you either become okay with who you are, or if you don't like who you are, you try to change the things that you absolutely cannot. That you absolutely dislike about yourself. And that's not to be confused as like, oh, I don't like all of these things about myself, therefore I need to change all of these things. It's actually learning how to be okay with who you are, and if you're going to change it, and if there are things that you absolutely cannot get over, then you start to look at changing them, you know? Finish the drawing, putting it in FanWorks. Oh, okay then. Oh. I like it. I like it. Did I leave my stone cutter down here? I did. I did leave my stone cutter down here. All right, chat. I was thinking that I was going to finish the tunnel today, but clearly that is not the case. I have not finished the tunnel. Listen, it is actually about time for me to stop streaming and everything. I'd love to continue going, but I think it's important for me to try to at least maintain some semblance of a normal stream. Oh, or normal stream? Normal schedule. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. But listen, I don't have to jet immediately or super quick here. I'm just gonna go ahead and rest my character here, and I'm gonna step away to use the necessities, and then we'll you know, we're not out yet. I still have to do all those squats, but I'd like to sit here and just kind of chat for a little bit and whatnot. So you know, take it slow ending the stream today. But I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, all right. I'm back. And woo. All right, chat. How are you guys doing? Hey? This game keeps surprising me. It surprises a lot of people on a regular basis. There's something to be said for a game that's so like Minecraft is an incredible expression of a game that is basic, you know? There's something incredibly simple and basic about Minecraft, and yet all of those parts and pieces, when they start to like get put together and interact with one another, the game becomes incredibly complicated. And it has this amazing complexity, and I think that's the beauty of it. I really like the complexity whenever you start to look at the way that the world operates, you know? Woo! But chat, how are you doing? How are you doing? This is where we close the stream out and whatnot. You know, I'm not quite ready to stop streaming. Like I'd like to sit here and just chat with you guys and have a bit of a moment, because I don't really do just chatting very often. That's something I feel not entirely comfortable with. Almost like I need time, you know? Well, no, it's like I need the game as a crutch. Like I can talk about whatever I want to talk about whenever I'm playing the game, but I feel like using the game as a crutch to like not have to communicate all the time, or, you know, if things get awkward, it's like, oh, I can just look at the game now, and I don't have to. If you get my drift of what I'm saying here. Had fun today? Hey, I had fun too. And thank you so much for the art. You're great. You're a great and wonderful artist there, Sarah. Thank you so much for putting in the effort and the time to make some doodles and whatnot. It's wonderful. And it's greatly appreciated. Man. Jeez. Oh. Almost forgot. Guys, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I would like to come by and do a small stream for Valentine's Day, you know, like an hour, maybe 2 hours or something. Do something special. Not that I have anything planned, because I do not. Thank you. I'll draw something better next time. Draw something super spicy next time. And give it, like, all the detail. Oh, my word. But I almost forgot. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I don't know if you guys are going to get an extra stream from me or not. If you do, it'll just be something fun. It won't be something that I've, you know, planned out or anything. But I do want to point out that there are things on the gift list, !gift if you're curious, where a lot of that stuff that's more towards the bottom of the list is going to go away after tomorrow. So you've got your slim window of opportunity and whatnot for some... for the opportunity to push things at me. And again, if you're interested in a particular anything going onto that list, I'll be certain to take another look at it tonight. So if you have suggestions for it. Not that I think any of you are interested in that, because I think that there's a very limited bandwidth or capacity for that type of stuff. And I don't think a particularly large number of you are actually thirsty. So... Okay, so how many squats do we actually have to do today? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 squats. That's not too bad. That's half of the squats that I normally... That's half of maximum. So that's doing pretty good. That's doing pretty good in my opinion. I'm not going to be able to do squats in here with my hoodie on though, so... Ugh. Go ahead and take this off so I can be a little bit. It's rest day. Rest day. What does rest day mean? Does it mean that it's a day where you're supposed to just kind of rest and take care of yourself and rest and recuperate? Is today Is today effectively your Sunday, Sarah? All right. Okay, chat. You've been wonderful. You've been lovely. Thank you so much for coming up and hanging out for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and get these 25 squats in, and then it's going to be stream out for me. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me again tomorrow. Maybe you won't. I can't make any promises. Just be certain to have notifications coming on and stuff. Whew. All right, there we go. All finished. Like I said, guys, you are a wonderful and amazing audience. Thank you so much for coming along. I will see you on Saturday, at the very least, at 12 noon U.S. Central. Don't be surprised if you get some extra streams from me this week, though. It's only Monday, and I have the whole week off. Until next time, though, take care of yourselves. Stay happy, stay healthy, get some exercise in. Catch you next time.